Welcome back to 5-Day Crypto. My name is Chase. Today we're going to be looking at Link Bitcoin and Link versus the US dollar on the monthly charts because the monthly close is today. So depending on when you watch this, it might have already happened. We'll see what we can extract out of the data. If you like the video today, give us a thumbs up. Follow us on Telegram, Patreon for more content than what you see here on YouTube. So let's get right to it. So on the simplistic line chart, line, whatever you want. We're looking at the fundamentals based on the most simple way you can draw. If you need 47 things on your chart to explain your point, the point becomes a little bit more muddy and unclear, right? So if you can't see this blatantly, open your eyes. We're in an uptrend right here. We're going all the way back to 2017. Uptrends are drawn from the lower points, right? Also, on the downtrends, right, on the flip side of that coin, you draw it from the peaks, right? You want to be drawing from the underside on the uptrend and the top side on the downtrend. Why would that be? Well, you wanted to confirm the break, right? So on the uptrend here, we broke it arguably right there the third week in November or so, and kind of confirmed right there after the rejection. So on the top side, right, we have two touch points here, right, using the closings, right? You can use your traditional candles, but oftentimes those are drawn to fit whatever narrative your favorite YouTuber is drawing. So the least arguable, I should say, way to draw it is from closing prices, and then you can see that what is going on here. Now, let's focus more on this and look at what you want your altcoin to be gaining on Bitcoin. And Link has just not done that since late 2020 here. So we need to look for a reversal and get back into this uptrend. So when could we do that? Well, have we done it now or are we not? Well, this is where you need to be looking at not only closing prices, but also traditional candlesticks can help you here. And then I would say if you kind of zoom this out, right? Let's look at this, right? And draw it from this peak instead of this peak. Well, maybe that initial peak was not the true to scale, the best fit, right? So you want to be looking at this. Now you have what you want to be drawing your trend lines, whatever has the most touch points. If you can draw it and it has two touch points, that's the first way you can draw a trend line. You have to have two to be able to draw a line, right? If you can draw it and kind of loosely, fit your rules and still maintain multiple touch points, that would be the best and strongest way to do it. And here we go. One point here, 2 points here with the wick, 3 points here with another wick in January a year ago, and then yet again right here. So looking at both, right, that I would say we're just not doing it yet, right? And we need to be waiting for confirmation. So just like here where we broke it and then came back and retested, that's likely what we're going to need to do here with Chainlink to gain on Bitcoin. Now, not many coins, go up against Bitcoin and, a freight train like Link did in its early days. So maybe that's what we need to start another train. Likely that's going to take some time. We're probably still several months, if not a year away from being able to, break it and retest it. Remember, we're going to have to break out of it, likely come back and test it, or maybe we just break it and then it's obvious, right? It should be obvious at one point or another. So that's what we're kind of waiting on to see when you should convert the majority of your Bitcoin back over to Chainlink. It's simply not yet based on the data. So hopefully that helps somewhere out there, somewhere, somehow, some way. Okay, so let's look at Chainlink versus the US dollar, and we'll do the same thing, right? Likely if Chainlink is gaining on Bitcoin and, going into the next bull cycle, whenever that may be, then Link is also gaining against the US dollar. So looking at that, minus the random squiggly line, what do we have to extract? Well, you need a little bit more data on this one, right? We're obviously in a downtrend since, April 2021 against the US dollar. 2020 was against Bitcoin. So keeping that in mind, right, looking at the monthly scale, we probably need a little bit more information. So, looking at the US dollar, we have some moving averages here. So what are the key moving averages on the monthly? Well, I'm glad you asked. Well, looks like to me, Chainlink really gets rejected hard off of the 50-month EMA right there, right? 3 wicks, 3 tests, and no avail. So I would say if you see a monthly price closing above the 50-month EMA, that would be a good sign that Chainlink's starting to turn the Titanic around. No icebergs. So that's what we're looking like. That price as of now, 883, 884. We're looking that then that'll change as we move up a little bit, but for the most part, that's probably about your number there. The 8-month EMA, we're below all of our EMAs. Now, what does that mean? Well, immediately you should be leaning a little bit more bearish on the bigger picture. If you're underneath all moving averages, all average prices for the past 8, 14, 34, 21, and 50 months, you're obviously a little bit more bearish than bullish, right? Bullish is you're above all your moving averages, right? You can make your bigger moves above your moving averages. Right now, we are simply not there. We need some more time, but you have your clear line levels in the sand to flip more macro bullish in the bigger picture for Chainlink. Hopefully that's helping someone. Again, on the weekly, what do we need to watch for the end of this week, right? What do I like? Last week, we closed our first weekly candle above our 21-week since last March, right here, or last January, excuse me. We're looking like a full year until we've closed, right? Look at their closing prices, right? There's the last price line above yellow fella, right? The 21-week EMA, that's what we're looking like. So what does that mean? Who cares? Well, if you're doing things you haven't done in a year and it's more bullish than it has been in a year, by definition, right? That's really a hard fact to argue. You've closed above your 21-week for the first time in a year. That would indicate to me that we're doing something different, right? Maybe we're trying to already turn that ship around, right? The monthly is looking like a hard ship to turn. The weekly says, hold my beer, I'm working on it, right? We're working on it. I would still like us to get above $9 to $10. The 200-week is where you want to be looking like on the weekly chart, right? We have about around $9 on the monthly, $10 on the weekly to close. We want to see closing prices. Wicks are, phooey, right? Closing prices is where you want to be for the big term. So hopefully for the 4 of you getting some kind of value out of this and are still watching, hopefully that makes sense. So that is that, as they say. Let's do car of the day. Bugatti Chiron Sport. There you go. Right on that top level right there. All Bugattis right there. All right. I'll see you on the next video. Hopefully you liked it. Thumbs up if you haven't already. I appreciate you watching this long. If you have, rockstar to you. 57 gold stars.